My wife's best friend drunkenly kissed me and said that she wished that she could find a man like me, so I told my wife. But now, my wife is furious with me and I don't know why. I have been married to my wife for 2 years, and she and her best friend have been friends for more than 15 years. Way before I met my wife or her, to be honest, I never saw or noticed ever that my wife's friend had something for me. Her friend and I have been alone quite often and not once did she try to make a move. It has always been platonic. Her friend, I will call her Lynn. For obvious reasons, Lynn and I have been close. Not that close but close enough to consider each other as friends, and I didn't have a problem with it. And neither did my wife. Lynn visits us almost every week or twice a month, give or take. My wife doesn't drink but I do and Lynn does. So whenever she visits us we both drink and spend time together. She brings her boyfriend, sometimes she comes alone. But 2 days ago, Lynn showed up at our home drunk. She was so drunk she couldn't even walk properly. I still am surprised how she drove herself to our place. I asked her to come inside, and she was crying. Crying so damn much I thought something bad happened to her. I tried to comfort her, but she just hugged me and kept saying that she wished she could find a man like me, and all of her boyfriends dumped her and kept talking gibberish. I just stood still and let her vent. But suddenly she started kissing me and I was shocked for a moment, but I shook her off of me and asked her what that was about. She said she was sorry and I asked her to stay away. She kept crying and apologizing, but I asked her to stay away. After a lot of talking and venting, I knew I couldn't let her drive, so I dropped her off, and when my wife got back she asked me why is Lynn's car there. I told her everything except the kissing part. Since then Lynn has been texting me a lot and giving me a lot of explanations and begging me to not to tell my wife she will not repeat the same mistake, and she genuinely thinks it was a mistake, or so I think. She keeps saying that if I do tell my wife she will lose her best friend. I haven't replied to her yet and I didn't tell my wife either, but I am kinda scared right now. On one hand I don't want my wife to lose her best if she really has made a genuine drunken mistake, cause she was really fucking drunk, but on the other hand I shouldn't be hiding stuff from my wife, and if it ever comes out my wife will probably stop trusting me. I am kinda stuck here. I know she will be hurt, but should I hurt her? It's no affair or sleeping if she was under the influence, and if we can bury it all up and move and stay away from each other going forward. Update: I decided to tell my wife everything. I thought about it a lot and decided that I should tell her everything instead of hiding it. So after a lot of thinking and finding a way to get past all this, I decided to tell my wife. When I told my wife everything, she was pissed, angry like never before. She asked me why did I hide it from her, why I didn't tell her. I said I was scared. I hoped that I could hide it all, and I didn't want you to lose your lifelong friend over a mistake, but then I realized that if I continued to hide the truth from you I might end up losing you, and I don't want to lose you. My wife asked me if I ever cheated on her. I said I never cheated and never will. She started crying and said how can I betray her when she trusted me so much. I hugged her and said I never betrayed her and will never betray her. I am coming clean cause I don't want to lose you. I was as shocked as you are right now when she kissed me. My wife, after she stopped crying, said that I am not allowed to talk to any of her friends and I am to stay away from other women except our family members. My wife also asked me to block Lynn. When I asked her what she will do, she said it's between her and Lynn and I don't have to worry about it. She demanded an open phone policy and complete transparency from me, and I agreed. She said if I ever tried to hide anything from her, no matter what it is, she will leave me. I agreed cause I didn't ever want to hide anything from her. I don't know what happened and what both of them talked about, and my wife wouldn't tell me either. All she says is none of my business. She's still super pissed at me and I try my best to make her happy and ended up doing embarrassing private stuff for her, which I never was and still uncomfortable to do so, but at least my wife is happy. I do not know what else I could have done, but I tried my best and gave it all. I came clean, told her everything, did everything she asked from me and tried my best to please her. She's still angry, but at least she is with me and isn't leaving me unless I make another stupid ass mistake. Update 2. But after reading a lot of comments and similar posts, I thought, why is my wife punishing me? What did I do wrong? Yes, I kept it hidden from my wife for a while because I was unsure if I should tell her or not. I didn't really want to break my wife's friendship with her best friend. Yesterday I went to my wife's BFF and asked her to tell me the truth. She said I should talk to my wife since we aren't allowed to talk to each other. I asked her who is stopping us from talking to each other. She said that my wife told her that it was my idea. I was the one who didn't want to talk to her or any of my wife's friends, and that's what my wife told them all. I told her that isn't true at all. My wife was the one who asked me to stay away from you and her friends and other women unless they are family. We kept arguing, but I asked her if my wife has ever cheated on me. She said not that she knows of. I asked her then why she kissed me and tried to get with me. She said that my wife has always been insecure and bragging about me. She doesn't want any woman near me and she wants me all to herself, and she said my wife is jealous. She said she wanted to try to be with me cause she fell in love with me instead of my controlling wife cause she doesn't deserve me. I said if you really loved me you would have told me the truth. Instead you let me believe that I was in the wrong and I tried to do everything for my wife. You all are crazy, and I left. I told my wife everything, and in her defense, she said she did all this for my sake and just wanted me all to herself and I would be foolish to leave her. Instead I should be glad that I have a woman like her as my wife. I said in normal circumstances I would agree, but I think you just want to control me. I loved you and thought of you as my everything and did everything for you, but you and your best friend is crazy and I don't want any of you in my life. Since then my wife is calling and texting me relentlessly. I just sent her a text stating that I am divorcing and hiring a lawyer. It's one thing to be dedicated to your spouse, but being controlled by them is not good. So yeah, I am leaving her and her friends and all this crazy. Don't really want to leave my wife, but I must. It's not as dramatic as she cheated on me or both of them planned, but she's definitely trying to dominate me. If it was in bed I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to live rest of my life with someone who controls me. If other men and women are reading this, please don't blindly trust your partner and always be vigilant.